We're here for Research Lesson 2. Today we're going to look at choosing a topic and developing research questions. So, by way of introduction, imagine your dream vacation. Would you prefer remote island or bustling city? How about village shops or pristine mountains? Sunny weather or snowy landscapes? There's just a world of possibilities, so how do you choose where you want to go? Well, in this case, you could look at a map and you could start to ask questions. So what part of the world do I most want to see? So notice this person's narrowed it down to Asia. In that area of the world, would I prefer the city or the outdoors? And what specific area should I visit? And here this person has obviously determined mountains in China. So unfortunately, one of the areas I did not get to visit when I was studying in China. Lots of other places, saw the Great Wall, Forbidden Palace, all that stuff, but I didn't get to these mountains. But, bringing it back to our lesson here, in respect to searching for a place to travel, looking at a map and narrowing my topic, we can also use a map of sorts to narrow a topic for research. So a mind map will do just that. It can take a broad subject and take it down to specific ideas. For example, here we have a student that's going to do Arthur Miller. And they put all these ideas down of possible things to write on. We have his 3 plays, Good Night and Good Luck, The Crucible and Death of a Salesman. They're all plays that he wrote. We could look at his literary development as a writer, could look at social life, or we could look at his political interests. So you can also take a mind map and look at a cluster in there and determine relationships within that cluster to create kind of an unusual but interesting project. And here this person has selected Good Night and Good Luck and The Crucible, 2 plays that he wrote, and combining that with political interest to come up with something completely new. Making a mind map is a good way to start to narrow a broad subject, but you'll probably need to do some preliminary research before you can settle on a final topic. And one way to do that is to explore the internet. Find different sources on the internet that could help you narrow your broad subject into a more manageable topic. But it takes some preliminary work on your own. One technology tool that can help do that is an RSS, or Rich Site Summary, or really simple syndication is what RSS means. It's another way to gather information on a subject that you are considering for research. So an RSS allows you to receive alerts automatically when information on topics of interest had been posted to the web. So really what you need to do is you need to go out and find a website that has the RSS capabilities. Then you subscribe to that website and tell it how you want the information delivered or how you want to be notified. Very similar, look over here, very similar to your Canvas. Notice this is my announcement page where I make announcements to you. And here I can make an announcement. You don't have that option. But look here, it says RSS feed. It looks like a little sound going out. And when you set up your notifications, you have decided how frequently you want to be notified of changes within Canvas. And it can do that because it's an RSS feed. So you would go to sites that have the RSS feed and subscribe to them, and then when information comes in concerning your topic, you are notified either on your phone or by email. So see, here's some on remembering Arthur Miller. Now this would not be primary source, this would be what's currently happening. So quite obviously, using an RSS would be on something that you're researching that is more immediate. Say you were researching in your government or your history about Syria and what's happening in Syria right now. To get an RSS feed, you would get that as it happened, as it was reported. So RSS feeds are not really of value for projects where you're doing research on historical stuff. But one way to organize your RSS feed, that's the information that you gather from the sites, is into what's called a feed reader. And a feed reader, there are apps for your phone, there are sites for your computer. Some will work for both. A feed reader manages the feeds or the information coming in the same way that an email account manages your email messages. A feed reader will note when the new information is available and will provide a link to the website that has been updated. So, or it will just put it on your phones. Like if you think Samsung my Samsung has Google Flipboard, and I've selected what I want the feeds to come in. So I've selected current news, I've selected technology bits, I've selected sports, I've selected entertainment. So when those come in, I get that information. And what you would do is you would just tune it into your topic. Different RSS feeders, and there's lots of them out there, but there's one Feedly that you can get different topics in. There's NewsFlare, there's NewsVibe, and there's one called Pulse. So that's one technology tool that will help you manage your information and find sources. So you subscribe to them, you can go do your other information, but if something new comes in, it will notify you. So after you conduct some online research, you should be able to narrow your subject into a suitable specific topic. So, in our example that we were looking at earlier, the broad subject is Arthur Miller. That was narrowed down to Miller's political leanings and literary works, and then it was even more narrowed to his political leanings in McCarthyism and the two literary works, The Crucible and Good Night and Good Luck. Once you've selected your topic, you evaluate it to make sure it's suitable for research by asking these questions. And there's 3 of them. So here's our topic again. Arthur Miller's response to McCarthyism in The Crucible and Good Night and Good Luck. Okay, the first one is, will I be able to find different sources on the topic? Okay, is there enough information out there? And then, is the topic objective rather than subjective? Objective means you can find facts and opinions about it. You can find information about it that is provable, verifiable, comes from experts. Subjective is people's opinions. So you have to make sure that you've got a topic that you can find objective facts about. And then for efficient research, you must start with specific questions. And these are research questions. So the use of a general question on the left as a guide to formulate a specific question for your topic. So this is how to go from general to specific. So we have our general question, that is, what is a general topic and how can you define it? To the specific question of, what was Arthur Miller's response to McCarthyism? So what are the topic's parts and how do they work together? 2, how did Arthur Miller's response to McCarthyism in The Crucible and Good Night and Good Luck? How did he respond? So notice you go from your general to your specific. Now, this is important because when you create your research questions, you do not want general who, what, when, why, where, and how questions. You want to have them specific to your field, that the person or the topic that you're studying. Here's a research tip, and we had this last week when we looked at your grammar. To support your research with rich evidence, remember to cover the 5 W's and how questions. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. So notice that our sample researcher is looking at who, what, when, where, why, and how, and they are all very specific to the topic that he or she is writing about. Okay, so let's look at some more general research questions that are developed into more specific questions. How has the topic changed over time? 2. How was Miller's portrayal of the Salem witch trials and the Crucible influenced by more immediate events related to McCarthyism? So you can see you have a general question and you take it very specific before you start researching. How is the topic similar to or different from related topics? Goes to, how do the Crucible and Good Night and Good Luck as plays differ from political speeches or editorials? So notice from general to very specific before research starts. Then what are the topic's advantages and disadvantages? Where did Miller succeed or fail in his portrayal of McCarthyism? Again, goes to very specific. So let's look at Roman numeral 2 of our research notes is choosing topics and developing research questions. We use mind maps to explore broad subjects and narrow them down. We do preliminary research before settling on a topic. Using RSS may be a possibility, which will help manage web-based information, could be useful. Then you evaluate your topic to determine if it's suitable for research, and you develop specific research questions. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and do your note verification form, get it sent in so you have points for this. If for some reason you got the information wrong, you're going to check your answers and you're going to evaluate and learn from your mistakes. And then this week in class and out of class, we're going to be developing your research groups and then starting to select a topic and formulate questions for the research. Okay, so I'll see you in class.